All right, anytime you are ready, Aiden.
While this may look like an ordinary report given in any middle school class,
I emailed the MLB Commissioner, Alan Seeley.
it's much, much more.
Today we're doing a practice run for the iLab Capstone project.
Every 7th grade student at Mountain Ridge Middle School has been empowered to dig into something that matters to them.
Everyone chose a project on how they can change the world. Steroids can be used in every sport, but baseball is where they're used the most.
For Aiden, the choice was easy.
I'm a huge baseball fan. I'm a huge Dodger fan because I was born in LA. And every time I turn on ESPN, it's about Alex Rodriguez problems or 100-game suspension.
He decided that people, especially student athletes, need to know about the dangers of steroids.
If you know an athlete that has an idea of taking these drugs, tell them the facts and say instead of steroids, tell them to go join a gym.
Then, Aiden and his classmates had a chance to make their pitch to a real audience.
It's cool that we're not actually presenting to just students. I mean, it's cool to have school board members or members of the HRCA.
That's right, hundreds of adults, including parents and other community members, gathered at the school.
We live in a world where there's anorexia, bulimia, and the fear of never being good enough.
The students' goal was to convince them to join their causes.
So we would hook a wire up to the magnets so that the magnetic field would push electrons out of the magnets and into the wire, which would be hooked up to maybe like a
battery that charges it.
The concept Carson and his group are presenting has captured his imagination.
A perpetual motion machine would put out constant energy, allowing for us to solve a lot of problems.
The law of conservation of energy states.
He's betting the idea will do the same for his audience.
It was deemed a class 3 impossibility, meaning that in order for it to work, you'd have to break or rewrite the laws of known physics. And so I was looking into failed past perpetual motion machines and possibly how you could make one that would work.
One day, he'd like to be the engineer that makes it a reality.
I bet Thomas Edison was told, oh, if the light bulb could have been invented, I bet somebody would have already done it. Yet, it hadn't been invented yet, and yet he did it anyway.
A reminder, you need to make sure that you emphasize both what needs to be improved and what they should keep.
The teachers that created iLab say this is exactly the type of passion they hope to awaken students.
You look at a middle school student and you see them walk in, they're sad, they're not happy, they're like, oh, I can't stand school. And as a teacher, that hurts. You know, you want them to enjoy being here. You want them to feel passionate about something. You want them to accomplish something. And so that's what we're hoping to do.
iLab, I think, really gives kids an opportunity to become more confident problem solvers, more confident learners, because we're teaching them that thinking is a system. And if they don't know what to do, they can rely on a system of thinking to solve a problem.
We're trying to do a driving class at Mount Vista High School.
And then we're trying to connect them to the world. So we're giving them opportunities to choose those issues and topics that are important to them, and then they can connect with their community and with the world around things that are really passionate for them.
To make this happen, the teachers say they had to change the way they teach.
If writing is a process, what skills do you need?
Pioneering new and sometimes difficult territory.
There's not a guidebook written yet for teaching in this fashion.
It just comes naturally.
This process is messy, and that's the part that's uncomfortable. We really have to let these kids go through this process, and we as teachers had to go through this process of giving them choice and letting them sort of take charge of their own learning, and that was difficult.
The results speak for themselves.
The constant airdrops from the Luftwaffe are unable to satisfy the constant hunger gnawing at your stomach.
Their potential is untapped.
When you see what empowered students can do.
So, a true story.
When they're passionate about learning.
When we let them sort of off the leash, their potential is greater than we can even imagine.